Merch Minds Podcast episode 90. Yes, there's 90 episodes with Yang in it. Kind of weird, but
Kind of weird, but you know what? This is almost becoming a norm now. I mean, this is part of my
your
regular
skin.
routine, doing the podcast on a weekly basis. Yeah, it's fun. We've been doing this for close to 2 years now, so time flies. Again,
Would you say this is the first merch podcast ever created?
it was. No, it was. In fact, I still get emails to this day from people saying, "Hey, you guys are the OGs of the Merch by Amazon podcast." And you know, s- I'm not saying this to say, "Oh, we were the first ones." We're the pioneers. That's not the case, but we were really the first ones. But here's the thing. I was just talking to a couple of guys last week about this, but there's a bunch of podcasts now about Merch by Amazon, um, and I think that's a good thing because I think content is always good, right?
Oh
I
yeah,
mean,
for
I
sure.
didn't realize how many podcasts is out there now. I mean, there was like 10, 12, I think. Um, um, and again, I think that's a good thing. So, yeah, so if you guys are one of the people that's doing a podcast on merch and just print on demand in general, keep it up. I mean, you know, the more content, the better.
There we go. You want to start with merch news or merch numbers?
We have to start with the numbers, right? We always do.
Okay, go
I can
ahead.
start. I can start. My last 7 days, 83 shirts sold. Not shirts, but products. Product purchases 1,700 200 $1,723 and 22 cents. Estimated royalties $357.89, and 6 returns.
All right. My last 7 days, 147 products sold, 7 returns,
Damn.
7. Matter of fact, yesterday, one of the returns was a pop socket. I was like,
Oh
how
yeah.
dare they?
Uh,
Estimated royalties $486.27. And
your numbers spiked up, huh?
yeah, the last couple of days, well, actually, the days before yesterday were good. I was at like 500 something, almost 600, like ending the day. And then yesterday was just garbage. I think I sold like 8 shirts, like max. I had
Oh,
that
what
return
we'll
from the
talk
pop
about that.
socket.
Yeah, yeah. We'll talk about that here. But yeah, it looks like your numbers are slowly improving.
Yeah, a
Uh,
little bit. They're getting there.
Mine's pretty much flatlined. I talked about this last week. When we were catching up. My as far as my sales are concerned, everything's just kind of flatlined. You know, um, Sales are all over the place, right? I mean, one day I'll do close to 30, next day it'll dip down to 3, and it's like a roller coaster, right? I mean, we talked about that, but on average, everything's just kind of flatlined. So really, no improvements as far as my account.
Mm-hmm.
And as we talked about last week, I think that's kind of the case for everyone. Everyone's getting a little frustrated, getting a little burnt out. I get it. Look, this is summer. In summer in general for e-commerce is slow. But I was saying this. I would like to try and scale my account where on the slow time of the year I can do 40, 50 a day. Just like I have some more work to do, obviously, in order for me to achieve that goal. But yeah, kind of burnt out. I do have some other things that I'm working on now, though, besides merch. And if you guys want to hear about that, just go back to episode 89, and you can hear all about that. But other than that, man, is there any merch news? Hey, what kind of is that a merch shirt? What is that?
Oh no, it's like our local. It used to be our local baseball team. They used to be
Okay,
called Diablos, and then they changed their name to El Paso Chihuahuas.
I remember that because remember you and I were talking about this. Remember?
Yeah.
Because the El Paso Chihuahuas, when I was in college, we had talked about that logo. Long story, but I don't want to get into it. Um, but is there any merch news?
Yes, merch news. This came out 2 days ago. We've updated the Merch by Amazon Services agreement to clarify the merch royalties calculation resources available to you, remove references to now obsolete mobile ad schedule, and change the mechanism by which any disputes related to this agreement will be governed. Going forward, all disputes will be subject to binding arbitration rather than in court. Now, in English, please tell us, Young, what does that mean?
That just went right over my head, man. You might as well just speak Chinese to me or something, because I have no idea what that means. If anyone can decipher that message, let us know, because it doesn't make a damn sense to me.
So in other words,
you know what
continue
that
doing
is?
what you're doing.
You know what that is? That's their legal mumbo jumbo, like most companies do, right? To try and confuse their customers or product users, right? In the fine print, they have this crazy legal memo, which just makes no sense, right? Like credit card companies are notorious for doing stuff like that, right?
You got to
Like
read the
they'll have
fine
it,
print.
yeah, right. They'll have it in fine print, some crazy legal mumbo jumbo that just makes no sense. So I have absolutely no idea what that means, man. If any of the listeners can decipher that, let us know, because that's just way over my head.
I first read it and then I tried to make sense of it, and then I was like, yeah, I have no clue.
It's a foreign language, right? Seriously.
I was like, what?
It really is. I think officially, also merch news. I think officially, they're the you know how they give us like the 30 days, and then they give us an additional 30 days to make changes on our bullet points. I think that's officially in play now, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is.
I
think
think
it is
that's
officially in play.
officially in play. So here's the thing about that, right? I don't think, and this is just my own opinion, it's my own theory. Like I don't think they're gonna, like I don't, maybe I'm wrong. I don't think merch is gonna go out and purposely try and find accounts that are not in compliance, because a couple of years ago, well, maybe more like a year and a half ago, when Amazon said, oh well, you can no longer keyword stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even though they said that, they never really went after the people that's keyword stuffing, or maybe they did, but I still see tons of people with that are keyword stuffing in their bullet points. So I
Yeah.
think my theory is, even though it's officially in play now, I don't think that they're going to go after people. It's just leading up to what it is now. They were just trying to get everyone compliant by the honest by the honor system, basically the honor system.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that's officially in play. Uh, I think I'm up to compliance. So you received an email, right?
Mm-hmm.
About a week ago, because I remember you messaged me and you were like, "Hey, man, did you get this email? I think a lot of people are getting freaked out." And I'm like, "I never got that. I didn't know what you were talking about, because I never
Yeah.
got that email."
I got emails from that email. Oh, I got emails about that email
Well, I'm
of
sure
people
you
getting
did,
freaked
right?
out.
Yeah, I No, I like when you messaged me saying, "Hey, did you get this email?" I was like, "No," and then I was like, "Send me a screenshot." You sent me the screenshot, and I was like, "No, I never received that message." So it got me thinking, well, does Amazon? Because, like I said, I am 100% almost positive that I'm compliant, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think because I am compliant, I don't think Amazon sent me that message. Whereas other people who weren't compliant at the time, they sent the message out. So my theory was on that was, well, maybe they do keep track of how people list their products. What do you think?
I think it's.
Because a lot of people were saying, "Oh, it's just a general email. Everyone got it," but I never got it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say because, because like we talked about before, there's people that are also 100% sure they're compliant and they got it, and then there's some people that didn't get it, and then
Interesting.
I don't. I mean, who really knows? I have no clue. But I think, if most of them and you've been changing them, editing them, you want to make sure you're safe, then I think you're fine. But like you said, also, there's some that slip through the cracks, and there's still some on there, and that's gonna happen. And then eventually they'll catch on to it and take them down, or maybe they won't. Like I've seen some older descriptions and stuff on there that never got changed from different people. Even one when I was going through the editing, I had some older. I had one. I had one listing on there that still said like Prime shipping available, and like I never changed it.
Well, that's
and
that's my point. I don't think Amazon
it never got taken down.
going out there enforcing, right, taking action, because like I said, I still see T-shirts that still has keyword stuffing in their bullet points, and Amazon told us a year or 2 years ago saying you can't do that, but I still see it all the time. So I don't think it's something that Amazon is gonna actively try and pursue, as far as and trying to enforce that. And maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Don't take my word for it. But that's just my own opinion. Let's see. So I know you're not really big on Etsy at the moment, but Etsy just came out with their Etsy Plus program.
Mm-hmm.
Did you hear about this?
No. What is this? Please tell me.
Okay, so I think for a fee, I think it's $10 a month. You get some additional features.
Okay.
Using Etsy, and I kind of briefly went through it, and in my opinion, I don't think it's really worth it. And I remember one of the features was, oh, you get 15 free listings. Well, it's not free because you're paying $10 a month for it. So how is it free, right?
Yeah.
So they completely failed on that. You get free 15 credits or something when you list.
So here, exactly. So here I just typed.
Is that what it's? I can see you looking at it. Is that what it says?
15 listing credits visible on your Etsy bill statement, and $5 promoted listings credit.
Yeah, I mean guys. If you guys are falling for it, you're not. Trust me, you're not getting it for free because you're paying $10 a month for it. And there's some other stuff in there, but in my opinion, I don't think it's worth it. I would say keep your basic store. Just continue what you're doing. Keep uploading. And if you guys heard last week's episode, I'm now in the process of revamping my Etsy store. I'm going to basically start from scratch. Because up to now, I've been uploading and selling a bunch of parody shirts, right? So I'm going to continue to do that. But like I said in the previous episode, I'm going to cross-post a lot of my best-selling shirts from merch to Amazon now. And I think I might just stick to T-shirts and tank tops, because it seems like those are the only shirts that are really selling. Because like currently I offer hoodies and sweatshirts and all that, but they don't really sell.
Mm-hmm.
Like every once in a while I might get a couple of sales, but it's primarily T-shirts, the racerbacks for women, and the crop tops. Those are the only things that are like just consistent, right? Because I have my store set up where like all my products are being renewed automatically. But they're being renewed, like I said, like for the hoodies, I don't sell a bunch. So they're being renewed, and it's costing me money in the long run. It's not a lot, but it's still costing me money. And I'm only selling like maybe 2 every 6 months.
Oh, okay.
So is that worth it, right? I think not. So I think I'm going to really eliminate a lot of the products as well. Let's talk about CreateSpace. So you and I talked. We took Kelly's. It's not even a course. It wasn't even a course back then. Like we paid her in private to coach.
This was one-on-one.
Yeah, this is long before. I mean, because this, that's like the hot thing right now. Everyone's getting into CreateSpace.
This was before the Kelly fame and fortune. This was OG.
So let's talk, because you and I, we took that coaching with her. I don't know, was it late last year or was it beginning of the year? I can't remember.
No, it was this year.
It was this year. So it was in the beginning of the year. We took a private coaching with Kelly, and we learned how to do journal publishing on CreateSpace. I have about maybe 50 titles uploaded right now. I don't think you did any at the moment. Have you?
No.
Are you going to?
Probably not.
Probably not. Why'd you take the coaching, man? Just for the hell of it?
It was a good option, and I was looking into it, and then now I'm like, I don't know if it's something I would do. I'd probably still continue building merch and pop sockets than to do the create space.
Mm-hmm. So I've been uploading a bunch of titles the last week or two, and I have about maybe 50 titles up now. I officially had my first sale the other night.
There we go.
A couple of dollars, right? Um, but it's playing the numbers game. I recall Kelly saying she has close to 5,000 titles.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a
Beast.
numbers game. I'm nowhere near that. The cool thing is, so I went back and I watched the episode where you interviewed Jacob Bates.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously I wasn't on that episode. I was sick, which, by the way, I'm still coughing. I don't get it, man.
Yeah. The weird thing about that episode is that that's our highest listened to episode, which is weird.
Really?
Yeah. Apparently, the one that you weren't on, it was just like, just kidding. Go ahead.
Hey, you son of a. But yeah, so I went back, and I've talked to Jacob in private in the past, but for someone who's 21, he's a really bright kid.
Yeah, he's a young buck.
But no, he's super sharp. If I had a mindset that he currently has now, when I was 21.
Yeah, what were you doing when you were 21?
Dude, no joke, dude. I was out partying and just going to bars and the clubs. That was my thing. Like it was like a routine. Like Monday through Friday I would go to work, and then on the weekends I would go party.
Yeah, but you didn't have these things. You didn't have access to these things. It was a different time back then.
Look, I'm only 28. Okay,
that's true. That's true.
But seriously, he's a sharp kid. But anyway, he just came out with this new Chrome extension. What the hell does he call it? The Chrome. Anyways, it's an extension. It's an extension. Like if you guys ever uploaded any titles on CreateSpace, it's like the most longest, tedious process ever. Like that's like the one platform that I absolutely hate loading. Right. That's why I only have 50 titles, because it's such a long, tedious process, and I absolutely hate it. Anyway, Jacob had a Chrome extension developed. I swear to God, man, it like improves your loading process on CreateSpace like at least by 30-40%. It makes it super quick now.
Yeah, because when Kelly was going through it, I was like, man, this platform's old school.
You remember how long it took us to go to that whole thing of watching Kelly list a title?
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it was at least a good 3-4 minutes like per title. Anyway, like I said, Jacob came out with a Chrome extension. I think is worth every freaking penny. It's an affordable $15. It will really, really help speed up that whole process. Super bright kid, man. I can't. I speak very highly of him. Really good kid. What else you got, man? You going to Vegas, right?
Yeah, I'm going to Vegas for eBay Open. That will be on Tuesday through Thursday, I think.
Tuesday through Thursday.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, something different. I've never been there before, and apparently it's kind of cool, I guess, but I don't really know.
Have you ever been to Vegas in the middle of summer?
Yes, and
it is the worst thing ever.
We went when we were little, and my brother almost damn near died because of how hot it was.
I'm serious. No, you're right. Hot. No, because it's the desert, right? It's probably one of the worst things ever. That's why I absolutely, well, number one, I just hate Vegas in general. But number two, when I do go, I don't go in the middle of the summer, because that was one of the worst experiences I've ever had. Was going to Vegas and then going to Phoenix in the middle of summer.
Oh man, Phoenix. Both of them are just out of control. I mean, even here in El Paso, it's super hot. I think today it was like 103 or something.
Wow.
So I am used to kind of like that dry heat anyway. But when you're out there on the strip walking, oh man, It's
Oh
like a
yeah,
totally different feeling when you're just the sun is just angry at you.
yeah, man, it's just no joke. So, are you gonna do a meetup?
We're supposed to do a meetup probably like on that Friday, but nothing serious, just kind of like a fun type of meetup.
I
Also, I
thought
don't.
I thought you were gonna be there from Tuesday to Thursday.
Well, that's just for the eBay thing, but I'm
Oh,
really
okay,
gonna be
okay,
there for like pretty much the whole week. But just the eBay thing is like Tuesday through Thursday. So
okay. So you're gonna have a meetup? What you said Thursday?
probably like on Friday. I think Thursday's the
Friday.
last day eBay. I think they're gonna do like they do some kind of like party reception thing. But
Hmm.
either way, I think the conference starts at like 7 or 7:30 a.m. I know that's not gonna happen. Like, I'm not gonna get
Right,
there that early.
right. Well, that's cool, man. Well, say what's up to my good friend Jason T. Smith. Really
Oh
good
yeah,
friend of
yeah,
mine.
definitely.
I'm sure he's gonna be there. In fact, I know he's gonna be there.
Yeah,
Really good friend of mine.
that dude has a
Every-
whole crew
Dude,
going.
every time I'm out in Vegas, man, we go to that little rum bar that he always likes, and that's where RJ just got blasted. I never had rum before. Um, but yeah, but that's a whole nother story, man. If you guys want to hear that story, talk to RJ about that.
Let's talk about our guests. I don't think we even mentioned our guest for this one.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
so we so this is a little different in the sense that last week you guys heard me talk about doing different things now, right? You guys heard me talk about driving traffic to my listings because our designs are getting lost. Regardless of how good your designs are, the market is just too saturated. Okay. Amazon themselves said that the market is saturated, so you need to separate yourself from everyone else. So our guest is Alex Park this week. He's actually a local Bay Area native. I had the opportunity to meet him back in May when we did the local meetup here, and we were talking, and he's like this, like this SEO uh, guru specialist, whatever you want to call it. He runs and operates a bunch of niche websites, niche affiliate websites. And one thing he told me was, he goes, "Hey man, why don't you just get your best-selling shirts, create a niche website around them, and drive traffic to it, right?" And it never dawned on me. I'm like, well, this is something that I can definitely do because look, I've been creating websites throughout my whole career, whether it's for my day job or for myself. So this is right up my alley, right? Like, we talk, our good friend Anthony, right? He's trying to create that whole call center and the B2B because that's his thing. That's
yeah.
what he enjoys, right? Like he enjoys the human interaction and trying to sell things, right? I enjoy developing websites. So I think this is right up my alley. Because look, up to this point, week after week, I've tried just about everything, right? I've tried the local merch method, which I think it does work. Um, I just got really frustrated after I went to that when I went to my doggy daycare center, and I pitched the idea. He was interested, and he freaking took he took my whole marketing idea, my whole pitch to him, and he went with the local printer. Um, so so I think this is right up my alley. So I wanted to introduce you guys to Alex and have him talk about exactly what we're doing as far as building a niche website.
He's
Having
very relatable too. He's not like some guy that doesn't know what he's talking about, or he's like always pitching random courses or something. Like this guy, he's very relatable. I think he's very understandable too. So if
Yeah,
you,
no, he's a cool guy,
yeah,
man,
yeah,
and
definitely,
he's not one of those guys that's going out there saying, "Hey, I'm making tons of money, this and that," right? Because like
yeah,
when I first met him, I didn't even have a chance to talk to him because at the meetup, he was on the other side of the table, right?
yeah,
So towards the end of the meetup, we got to talking, and he's like, "Yeah, I specialize in SEO and all that," and then he was talking about his niche websites, and he told me how much freaking money he made last year doing that. I damn nearly freaking peed on myself, and you guys will hear that in the interview. He actually allows me to tell you guys how much he made. So we'll talk to Alex Park, and he'll kind of explain what exactly niche websites are. All right, guys, today we are talking to Alex Park. I had the privilege of meeting Alex a couple of months ago. He lives here in the Bay Area. Um, and Alex, go ahead and introduce yourself, man. Who are
Yep.
you? And share your numbers if you want.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Sounds good. So Alex Park here. Bay Area native, been here my entire life. Been doing digital marketing for a long time, maybe not a long time, but 5 years. Just from learning about it through podcasts to trying it out and then venturing into different business models, which we'll dig into later on. But just to kind of give you guys numbers, Merch by Amazon, the platform is great. Last month, royalties were about 1450. That was about what it was, so $1,450. This month, I'm on pace for 2K, and I'm in the 2K tier.
Interesting. So so
Hmm.
so so you last month you did 1450, and I think most people made more money last month, but it sounds like you're gonna make more money this month.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
And the
okay.
whole, the strategy behind it is, you want to plan in advance in terms of which designs you want created, so designed, and then when you're going to publish it, and just be ready for it. So for me, if I'm, trying to go for a big October, I'm going to start trickling in those designs between this month and next month, so they can be live for a while and gives people an opportunity to buy them. And you never know, even if it's a Halloween design, people will buy that in July. Whether
Cool,
it's
man.
like, yeah. So
I like it.
just
No,
be
it,
ready
it's
for
it's
it.
just it's
Hmm.
just pretty much sounds like strategizing. But hey,
Hmm.
look, uh, I want to talk to you because I know in May, well, first of all, at the meetup, we didn't really get a chance to talk during the actual meetup because you were on the other side of the table. I know
Hmm.
you had the opportunity to talk to Harrison because he was sitting right next to you. But
Hmm.
then we got, but then you and I started talking after everyone had left, and I was really intrigued by what you're doing outside of merch. So this show is going to be a little different because even though it's merch related, I invited Alex on the show because it's something he's doing something. And you know us, right? We're always talking about thinking outside the box and whatnot. And you and I got to talking, and I was like, "Yo, man, my sales have dropped." Pretty much, I was venting to you about
Hmm.
my sales, and then you're like, well, you know what? Why don't you consider creating a niche website,
Hmm.
right? So basically, to the listeners, Alex has said, uh, uh, like, get my best selling shirt, right? So let's say my best selling shirt is on fantasy football. He said, why don't you create a niche website about fantasy football, right?
Hmm.
And then have that link to your shirt throughout your website. And it totally made sense to me. And this is something that I can totally relate to because, I'm really well versed in web development. Like throughout my career, I've made plenty of websites for my day job and clients. So when you mentioned this, it just, I was kind of upset at myself because I just never, again, it's just something that I never even thought about. So Alex, let's talk about this whole niche websites and creating creating traffic to your products and whatnot.
No, absolutely. So, yeah, I mean, first of all, the meetup was a lot of fun. Definitely, if we do it again, I'll come out again, and hopefully more people will show up. Strengths are in numbers. Shout outs to the Warriors on that one. So this is the thing. I think it's really important for everyone to continually think outside of the box. That's how you're going to be successful online, because if everyone's doing the same thing, no one wins. So you have to continually iterate. So one of the ways that you can actually stand out in the internet marketing world, whether it's in t-shirts, blogs, whatever, is try something different. So as we all know, merch is just going to keep continue to get more competitive. There's going to be more flooding of designs. They're increasing the number of t-shirts that you can submit at one time, and so on and so forth. We all know all the different things that are happening right now. But one thing that you can actually do to separate yourself from the pack is owning the traffic. Because everyone is competing for organic traffic. If there's something that you can do to separate yourself, and I hate to use the word brand because it seems like that word has like grown its own legs and people ran with it. But like, you want to have something that you can hold onto as your own asset, right? Like you want to be able to own a website, pick up the traffic from Google or whatever it may be, whether it's Instagram, wherever you're getting your traffic from. I prefer Google just because it's easy and it's straightforward, and there's tons of good information on the internet about how you can bolster your website and gain more authority so you can rank higher in the SERPs. SERPs just means search engine results. and position. So, do what you need to do, get a blog, get your own traffic and own the traffic because that traffic is yours. So if you have a t-shirt, like let's say you're in the fantasy football niche or whatever, people are definitely looking at Google and they're typing in stuff like, what is the best loser fantasy football t-shirt? And guess what? If you have a blog that could rank for that term, and you showcase your good designs, and this goes back to what you like to preach on, it's like good designs, right? It all starts from there. You're going to present your designs. So there is no list competition. There is no this competition, that competition. People are looking at you because you have a blog that is authoritative, and they're looking at your designs because you're the one that showcases your own designs. So they're going to go ahead and buy it. And what that's going to do is that's going to increase your strength and your positioning in the Amazon listing positions. So then now you're going to get more organic sales. So the whole idea is no one needs to like start panicking now, but that's where you want to eventually grow your business, and you want to have your own websites, so you can own that traffic, so you can have people look at what you have to offer and they invest in you as opposed to just buying a generic design that anyone can buy from. And then this can continue to grow and grow and grow because you can collect a list. You can do what
You can do all kinds of crazy stuff.
all kinds of things. Yeah, you can do what Hustler Hacks is doing over here, and then build an audience. And so the people are going to listen to Hustler Hacks, all day long over some random guy, like on the internet.
Right.
So
Okay. So that was, take a breath, man. That was a lot of information you given.
yeah.
That was a lot. Okay. And I've only asked freaking one question so far. That was a lot of information. So for the listeners, what in a nutshell, what Alex is saying, he's saying basically, again, just kind of going back onto the fantasy football example, right? So I have a best-selling fantasy football T-shirt, but as of late, it's lost a lot of traction, right? I'm not getting the sales that I want. So what he's saying is, look, go ahead and create a WordPress website, right? Have a bunch of freaking articles, right? On various topics about fantasy football. For instance, like write a article about mock draft, right? Write a article about the best defensive players of 2018, and then write another blog about the best offensive players for 2018, and just keep writing these blogs. But throughout the blog, you're gonna have a bunch of links to your products, right? Because of the key, like if you write a good, and correct me if I'm wrong, just correct me. And you want to write a blog article with specific keywords that's going to target not just your article but also your product, right? And then over time, and this is in the process. Trust me, man. I've done my homework. This is probably going to take about a half a year, right? But if you have good content, people, Google is now going to index your website based on your keywords and based on the traffic that you're generating, and then it's going to move your website on top of the search results. Therefore, you're getting more traffic. More traffic equals to more sales. Correct?
That's exactly right. Yeah.
So when you and I were talking, and trust me, look, Alex, him and I spent about a good 2 hours after that meetup just talking, and I know Daryl was there, and I was like, "Yo, man, give me some proof." And hey, do you mind me
go for it, man. Go for it.
He showed me his numbers, and this isn't just I'm not talking merch, but this is just his money that he made just based on what he's doing, whether it was merch, T-shirts, or other products that he's affiliated onto his websites. The guy made what was it, $229,000 last year?
Yeah, that was about right. And that's not
how many websites you have right now?
So I have about 5. The majority.
So 5 websites, and he made $229. He showed me one of the websites, and I'm not going to tell you out of respect for Alex. I'm not going to tell you guys what it is. but it's a simple freaking WordPress. There's nothing fancy, right? It's just a
Simple.
regular freaking WordPress website.
Hmm.
And I've gone through some of the pages. They're just simple freaking blog articles, man.
Yeah.
So I think this is the route that I'm going to take. Glenn, I know you're itching to ask some questions. I see you over there doing your question dance, man. You got any questions for Alex?
So I guess would you recommend? I mean, anyone that wants to come in and they
Mhm.
start asking questions about this, you want them to pretty much they have to get into a niche that they have some sort of passion about, right? I mean, if you just
Oh,
start off doing like a dog shirt and you're really like, hey, I'm going to talk about dogs, but I know nothing about dogs, then I'm guessing you're going to have a really hard time, right?
absolutely. So, especially on your first blog project, you got to ask yourself two questions. What is the addressable market and what can I offer? So if that is basically that rolls up to what you just basically said. Like, don't you need to have like some interest or passion? And if you could break it down in those two steps, addressable market, and what's the new thing that you can offer, that's how you can really differentiate yourself from the pack, and that's also what will keep you interested. So if we're going to use your dog example, you might as well make a website about golden doodles. I mean, you could, because you own a golden doodle,
What
right?
the hell
Like
is a
you
golden
have,
doodle?
it's just one of those furry dogs with curly hair.
I've never even heard of a golden doodle.
They're great. They're great dogs. I have a friend who owns one, so that's what I would start at, because if you own a golden doodle and you're making shirts about golden doodle dogs,
So you should niche down, kind of like those T-shirt designs.
niche down. But then every dog is slightly different. Like how you raise a pit bull is a little bit different from how you raise a golden doodle, and people are out there on the internet searching it up all day long. Like how do I take care? How do I like groom my golden doodle? Like people are specifically looking for golden doodle stuff, not just like broad dog things. And it's less competitive, more valuable, and better conversions.
Mm-hmm.
And do you I guess match it up with Instagram? Instagram's of course very like visual. So if you have your golden doodle photos every week and then people, they have their own, they're gonna follow you, it's gonna build it up. And then I mean, do you have Instagrams pretty much matching up for all 5 of your websites?
I don't have Instagrams. I specifically, I'm like a Google specialist, Google and Amazon specialist, basically. So I don't really do. I'm also like I also know how to use Facebook ads and Instagram ads too, but I don't try to do the organic Instagram, Facebook stuff. I specifically do Google, Amazon, and then paid ads. So if we're going to use your Instagram example, the strategy that I would basically partake is build up a great audience, whether it's golden doodles or whatever it may be, and then eventually you're going to grow organically. And every once in a while, you post something that they're interested in, and then boom, you throw in a T-shirt in there, and then put your link in there, and then they'll go and click that link, and people will buy that shirt, because guess what? All the people who are following you are targeted people who are interested in golden doodles, so they're going to go ahead and click that link, and they're going to go buy that shirt because they're already interested. They're passionate golden doodle owners.
Exactly. Don't you just love golden doodles, Young?
Dude, I just googled a golden doodle. I didn't realize they look like a mix between a Chewbacca and a poodle.
Yeah. Chewbacca's a little extreme, but
no, I'm sure they freaking look like it's like a hybrid between Chewbacca and a poodle. But they're cute. But yeah, you guys have to excuse me, man. My voice is still, my throat's still messed up. But yeah, so I think this is the route that I'm gonna go. Cause here's the thing. Look, we hear Anthony from the Jersey edition. Those guys are talking about, they're gonna leverage B2B, because that's Anthony's specialty, right? He loves marketing and sales. Like he loves that face-to-face interaction and trying to sell you a product, right? My specialty is web development. And again, I'm kind of, I was kind of upset with myself when I was talking to you, Alex. I'm like, how come I never thought about this? Because I knew about niche websites, in the past. I just never really thought about it, right? And everything that you said made sense. And for anyone that's interested in doing something like this, Alex, I know, look, patience is very thin in the merch community. Okay, how long does it typically take to see results like this? I know the answer, but I'm asking you to tell the listeners because I know people are going to be like, oh, I just made a website, I got 2 articles up, oh, I haven't sold a damn thing. I swear it's going to happen.
Yeah. I mean, I would give yourself a realistic timeline of 6 to 12 months, and then keep your head down. You know, just keep your head down and focus. Read what you need to read, and take the approach that this is a business that is going to have its own legs. Because you have to think about it like this: if you're thinking just merch, you're thinking a little bit short-sightedly. Because if you think about it, merch is really just a monetization method. You know, if you have a blog with traffic, you can promote other products
You
and
can promote other
diversify.
products,
Yeah, you can
right?
diversify your income
Right. I
streams.
mean, so what Alex is saying, I mean, after 6 months, if you have a website that's seeing traffic, you can obviously promote your t-shirts, but now, why not move beyond the t-shirts, right? I mean, Amazon, they offer an affiliate program. Sign up for the affiliate program. Now you can offer freaking Goldendoodle sneakers. If there is such a thing on Amazon,
Hmm.
Goldendoodle
Leashes,
leashes. Goldendoodle
dog bowls,
uh, uh, who
dog bowls.
dog balls or Goldendoodle backpacks.
Absolutely, yeah.
So that's what Alex is saying. It's like,
Hmm.
and that's the beauty of this business model is it's more about t-shirts, but you can sell other products. Um, and
Yeah, absolutely.
so I think this is a route.
Hmm.
Glenn, you think this is something that you might be interested in?
I would have to build up my own Hustler Hacks blog. I haven't even done that, much less another niche. I just have to build up this
Right,
first one. And
right.
Exactly. And Glenn, that's actually a great niche for you, and you can really leverage the assets and the authority that you built up for yourself already. Because there's tons of people that are out there buying hustler shirts. Like,
yeah,
I'm a hustler. Like, I'll sleep when I die. Those type of shirts. You know those
yeah.
adages. Like, people will buy those all day long, and then, like, if you could come up with some cool designs and wear it on your own show, you can just link that up to your blog or a Shopify store, and then start selling it, and then you'll make like $10, $5 a piece, and it's a pretty good deal.
But blogging is really important. You can't just
Yeah.
it's like I was saying, you can't just create a website, have a couple of freaking blogs, and think it's going to do anything. Like you have to be pretty consistent for that 6 to 12 months time period, right?
Hmm.
Right.
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely. Be consistent, and really just try to add value. If you're thinking, "Oh, what's my payback? What's my payback?" The quality is going to suffer. The work quality is going to suffer. Your patience is going to run thin, and you just got to really set aside a realistic budget of, I don't know, several $1,000s, and then just take it slow. I don't. The budgets could vary. It depends on how much work you want to do, right?
I
Because
was I was going to say I was going to actually disagree with you. I think you can.
yeah.
I think you guys can easily build a basic, simple WordPress website for less than
Hmm.
a couple of $100, right? Um,
Right.
Now it depends on whether who's writing the article. Like, are you
Hmm.
writing the article yourself, or are you outsourcing, hiring VAs to do your articles? Now that's when things will obviously add up.
Add up,
But
absolutely. Hmm.
exactly. So I think
Hmm.
I'm now I don't know which route that I'm gonna go. You know what here's the thing with me, man. My mind is so just it's all over the freaking place. I'll be the first one to admit it. I say it all the time. I'm trying to balance too many projects. I think this is one thing. Again, this is one thing that I'm really comfortable in.
Hmm.
I obviously have a background in it. I think this is if this is the route that I'm going to go, I'm definitely going to outsource writers, ghostwriters, because I just don't have the time to do stuff like that, right? So this is definitely something that I'm going to get into. In fact, I already
Hmm.
have. I already purchased a couple of domains, and this is the first time you're hearing this, but since the last time you and I spoke, Alex, I've already purchased a couple of domains.
I like it.
Um,
Hmm.
just strategizing as far as what kind of products I'm going to have on the website. So here's the thing.
Hmm.
When you do something like this, Alex, and again,
Hmm.
I know the answer to this, and I'm going to ask you because I think the listeners need to know. When
Hmm.
you have, again, like a niche website, right? you should try and pick a niche where products are pretty, where something's expensive, right? Like okay, for instance, like don't have a niche website about stickers, right?
No.
Because stickers, what do stickers cost? Like $1.50, right?
Yeah.
So $1.50. By the time you get paid out by Amazon or whoever your affiliates are, you're
Less
probably
than
gonna get
15 cents.
you're probably gonna get what 15, 20 cents. What Alex is saying is, if you're gonna go this route, make a niche website with something that's I don't know, make a niche website about home appliances, right? Because now we're talking blenders, right? Blenders could cost what $300-400, right? And then your payout would be what $30-40. But then if you got traffic going to your website, imagine 3 or 4 people buying that damn blender every day. It adds up.
Yeah. And you know, just going off the Goldendoodle example, like if you make a blog that basically helps people buy and figure out what's the best dog food for Goldendoodles, like that will convert too, because people are going to pay a little bit more to get their Goldendoodle the best food for their breed. So then that's going to convert like crazy, you know? So that's going to convert, and it's like what, $30-40 a bag, and that's going to add up just out of sheer volume.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, on a given month.
And then the Amazon cookie, regardless of what they buy, if someone clicks on that link, it's 24 hours, right? They have 24 hours. Absolutely. So
but the great part is if they all right, let's say they click the link and they buy the dog food and whatever else they buy.
Whatever else they buy,
you
even if they
get comp on
buy
it.
toilet paper or a Hustler Hacks a T-shirt, you know, you guys are still getting your percentage. Glenn, did you have any questions, man?
I was gonna say, well, what I liked about also, I guess, even the dog example that we had is just also if you're picking a niche, something that also isn't, I guess, rarely available in stores. I guess what I like about that one, because it's really specific to a person that's a certain dog breed owner. So if they go to like Target or Walmart and they're looking for regular shirts, you notice, I mean, you're not gonna find that there. So I like just picking a certain niche that I think you can really, I guess, get something online, not just have to go in store and find it wherever. Like fantasy football shirts, for example, you can find them pretty easily now. I think they're really coming up. Yeah, like, you know, you can find them pretty easily.
That was an example, dude.
Yeah. But I'm saying, like, if it's like a targeted niche, even within fantasy football, it's like you could even take it even further. So I mean, the sky's the limit when it comes to all this kind of stuff.
Absolutely. And just going off the fantasy football stuff, like you can come up with this is just an example. I don't know how competitive that niche actually is, but if you come up with something like you know, best strategies for drafting in the late rounds 2019 or something like that, and at the very end throw in something in there like, oh, this is a gift for the person that drafts the best or has the highest grade, and then people are going to buy that just because it's relevant to them. They already have a league. They have people interested. They're passionate. They're ready to buy a $16, $20 shirt. Yeah, and all you need to do is get 5 conversions, like, I don't know, every other day, and that pays for itself. That's awesome. That's like $25 off of one design.
And say, how do I bring? Let's say people are asking, if I build a website, how do I bring the people just to go to the website then?
Oh, from Google.
If I don't have a
it goes back to what I was saying earlier. You need to have good content, right, Alex? And with specific keywords within the article.
Yeah. So, you know, you're going to be talking about drafting strategies, and that's going to show up in the Google, you know, top 10 list on Google. And then they're going to click onto your link and they're going to read your article. And then you could probably drop a quick T-shirt design at the very end and be like, hey, look, this is probably a good idea to buy the winner of the draft. Something like along those lines. Or loser of the draft could get this funny, weird shirt and they have to wear it. You know, and they're going to buy it. I mean, you guys see it on Amazon. Like, there's definitely a market for that. There's a lot of those shirts just floating around. So, but guess what? All the millions of shirts out there, the thousands or whatever of fantasy football loser shirts, right? The ones that go on your blog, they're only going to see your design and they're only going to buy your design. Because they click that, they don't see a list. All they see is a listing page of that design. So that's how you separate yourself from the pack. And over time, because you're going to have higher sales frequency, that's going to move you up in the SERPs, and all of a sudden you're killing it in both ways.
Absolutely. Hey,
Hmm.
I know you and I were talking, um, and I want you to explain to the listeners. So, besides just doing websites, like Alex said in his
Hmm.
introduction, he's very familiar with doing ads and stuff. I want you to answer this question because one thing that I see, and
Hmm.
I've even tried it, and it doesn't work. How come Facebook ads for T-shirts
Hmm.
don't work?
Yeah, the reason why it doesn't work is because ad spend is going to be too much for your return for the profit. So the only reason why it would make sense to do anything with paid ads is if you're going to get a bottom line for each day and each week that you run ads for, because you're going to look at your ad numbers and you're going to look at your break even. You're going to look at when are you on the green, and then you're going to decide if all of it makes sense to continue running the ads. And then you also have to consider your time. So the reason why running paid ads isn't the most viable for T-shirts specifically is because your profit margin is only $5, but you're probably going to spend $10 on ads, so you're in the red five. But if you really wanted to figure out a way to, I mean, there's ways to do it. There's people out there getting like really super cheap conversions, but it's difficult. It's difficult. So now, if you increase the amount of return that you get per ad spend, or per impression, that's when it could get interesting. So if you create a funnel and then you have a t-shirt that's viral, and then you sell a hoodie right after that, then now your profit margin goes from like 5 to, I want to say, 15, 20, and now you have $20 that you can play with on ads. Does
Hmm.
that make sense?
It
So it
makes
comes,
sense to
yeah,
me. So again,
yeah.
to the listeners, I know that was a long answer. Basically, what he's saying is, look, with T-shirts, you're not going to make any freaking money because the margins are so low.
Yeah.
Here's basically he's saying if you it kind of goes back to the affiliate websites. If you want to run ads, you need to pick a product where you're going to make the most money. For instance,
Hmm.
uh, uh, we'll use the home appliance again, right? Like run an ad selling a home refrigerator because even if you sell one, the payout on that one refrigerator is going to be more significant than a T-shirt. Correct?
Yeah, and t-shirts is just it's gonna be too hard. And on top of that, because you don't own the Amazon assets, I mean, you could play around with cookies and get like do third party stuff, but it's gonna be hard to get an accurate view of how many people you're converting over and what the cost is that you're spending.
Mm.
So yeah, it's hard to do analysis on Amazon as well. If you have your own t-shirt company, like you have your own store and you're branding on your own, then it's a little bit different because your margins are going to increase, right? So you're going to have people go on your store and buy more things, and that's all going to be collected on the Facebook cookie. So there, you could definitely turn an ROI if you have your own store and you make it work. But it's really challenging. I'm not saying it's impossible to make that work, but you need to really have like a compelling positioning and a real audience that's passionate enough to go with you rather than some of the other stores out there. So
Basically,
definitely a market. It's tough,
basically, don't run any Facebook ads for your T-shirts, man. There's other
especially on
ways.
Amazon. Yeah.
Yeah, there's other ways to generate traffic and sales to your products. Um, uh, dude, I know we've been talking to what close to 30 minutes.
Hmm.
You actually know someone. He's a mutual friend of ours, and you actually known him long before he became a celebrity, right?
Yes. Yes. My man Neil Lasson. I think folks.
Neil Lassen from Merchant Photo. You guys know
So
Neil
I have a funny
before he
story.
was
Yeah.
Neil.
So when you're driven and ambitious and young, and you're trying to learn everything, so you're networking with everyone. This is like a common thing. So I mean, I want to say 3-4 years back, I was definitely like in the Reddit community, just following people and engaging in the different dialogues that were going on. And Neil was one of the guys that I was actually talking to. So his screen name was like Wizard or something with a number one. And then I don't know. After exchanging enough like messages, we basically connected on Skype, and then we're chatting on Skype, and we moved that over to Facebook, and then we were on Facebook. But he was actually the one that was like, "Hey, you should try out this merch thing." I was like, "What do you mean?" And then I was like getting frustrated because I had to wait for a long time to get in. But eventually I got in, and he was the one that basically told me about getting into merch. So I want to say like 6 months into him being successful with merch, and he's a funny guy. He was sending me his screenshots and stuff about how much he was making, and I was like, oh my God, this guy's killing me, knowing that I'm not in the program.
Right.
So,
No, that was pretty much the case with me and Glenn, because I got in later, after Glenn did, and Glenn's putting out freaking videos about how much money he's making. I was like, I'm losing my damn mind over here.
So the cool story is, here's the thing. So he goes, I'm actually going to make a program that helps. It's basically a keyword tool. I mean, we all know in the marketing world, it was very clear to me. It was like a keyword tool for merch. And I was like, oh, that sounds really cool. I mean, it meant a lot to me because people safeguard that kind of information. But he told me before it was even live. And I was like, cool, well, just make sure that I get the beta. So, of course, he made me a beta and whatever. And I was like, yeah, I'll try this out. I'll try this out. But then it turned out to be a really good software. I recommend it, obviously.
That thing's evolved so much, right?
That
thing's evolved.
Well, yeah, it's gotten great. And then, it really kind of took it head on, and it was a great experience. As you guys know, I told Young the story, but I really started back in January of last year, a few months before January of last year. And then I was able to ramp up my account all the way to, I don't know, I think in December I brought in close to 6.5 in just royalties. But then I ran into a setback on my account, and then long story short, got my account back because I didn't do anything wrong. But then had to start over. So that really all happened kind of from March all the way up to this point. So I was able to ramp it up March, April, May, June, July, 5 months to 1,400 royalties last month. So guys out there, man, there's definitely still opportunities. You just got to be aggressive about it, and just like put in the time and put in the work and put in the dedication and listen to folks like Glenn, Neil, and Young, and whoever else that has good information to bring onto the table. But yeah, so I mean, that's kind of like my merch journey and story. Neil was really, really like instrumental in putting me on that path, because before then I was just blogging all day long. It was good stuff.
Cool. Well, hey, just one last question before we let you go. Okay, since you brought it up, what is up with Reddit, man? Why is everyone a bunch of douchebags on there?
Oh man, there's a lot to unpack there, but I don't know. I think it's just a lot of it is competition. Folks are just competitive. They take the stuff serious, and because it's such a gray area in terms of marketing ideas and concepts, people like to put their ego behind whatever method they're using, and it's like then it becomes like a religion almost, right? It's like, oh,
no, man,
you can't tell me Jesus doesn't exist.
Maybe I'm wrong. I feel like they're just a bunch of dudes. They
Right.
It's a stage for them to just start popping off. When in reality, they're probably a bunch of nerds. Nothing wrong with being a nerd, but it's just a platform for them to be a bunch of jerks. When in real life, they're a bunch of jerks. They're nobodies.
Yeah, exactly.
And the point of me saying this is, I'm not saying this to be an ass. I'm just saying this. Look, just treat everyone equally, man. You don't have to freaking go on places like Reddit and all of a sudden you think you're Superman. Just be cool. But anyway, look, that's a whole nother topic. I just wanted to ask you because it sounds like you had a pretty heavy presence on Reddit. Hey, man, awesome show. Thanks for being on, man, dude. I could talk to you forever. In fact, I know you and I talked about getting together here in the near future, and we definitely should. I mean, you can buy me a few rounds of beers with that 220,000 you made last year.
Man, so I mean, thanks for letting me come on, and it means a lot. Glenn, Young, really appreciate it. And yeah, man, if anyone out there is listening, they're in the Bay Area, and they like this internet marketing stuff too, just reach out to me. I'm here.
Cool. Yeah. And you are in the group. If you guys do have any questions, tag him. It's Alex Park. I'm sure you would respond, right?
Yeah, of course. Absolutely.
Okay, cool. Well, hey, man, thanks for being here, man. And let's definitely catch up soon. That was a lot of information.
A lot of info. He knows what he's talking about. And like we said before, a very relatable guy. So we got to meet him in person. And then I know we're going to go from there and get some better conversations going.
Right. I don't know. Is this something that you might be interested in doing at some point?
I think it'd probably be something for my own branding, I guess, for like the Hustler Hacks brand channel type of thing. I think more than anything than kind of like the merch side of it. Because there's different things that I want to do. I think I'd rather do for that. And people have asked me about like Hustler Hack shirts and a dad hat and other random stuff. And I'm like, I don't know. Like,
wait, a dad hat?
Yeah.
I don't get it. Like a Hustler Hacks dad hat?
Dad hat, yeah.
What the hell is a dad hat?
It's kind of like it's a very like loose, slouchy hat. Cap.
I don't know what that is.
And
what does it look like?
Well, they're just regular hat, like baseball caps, but they're very like loose and slouchy, like very relaxed. It's not like one of those flat bills or anything like that. They're just like, I don't know. You have to do a Google search on it.
Okay. I've never heard that term before, but no, like I said,
dad bod.
Like I said,
those terms.
What?
Dad hat or dad bod?
I heard like dad jeans and stuff like that, and dad jokes. I never heard of a dad hat. But anyway, so just an update since we did that interview. So I do have a website up and running at the moment. It is a niche website. I have to post more articles on there. I bought the domain and everything is up and running, but like I said, I need to write more articles. From what I've been researching, they said to have at least 20 well-written articles with at least 2,000 words in each article. So obviously that's a lot of work. I'm going to try and write at least 10 of them myself and maybe hire a ghostwriter for the other 10. So hopefully that'll be up and running by the end of the month. But the beauty of this is like we said in their interview, it's more than just T-shirts, right? Like if you have a Amazon Associates program account, like you can now get an affiliate link for other things as long as it's within that niche, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully I'll get this up and running within the next few weeks. I'll keep you guys updated. I do know for a fact, even though if I complete the website, even within the next 3 weeks, I probably won't see results until the next 6 months, because from what I understand, it takes Google a few months before it recognizes your website, right?
Yeah, it has to get indexed in there.
You have to get indexed, and once it knows that you're getting traffic, it'll boost you up in the search results. So I'll definitely keep you guys posted. Glenn, if this is something you're interested in doing, definitely let me know. I'm not an expert, but I can definitely share with you what I'm doing. And the same for the listeners. Look, I tell you guys all the time, if you guys want to contact me or Glenn, you can reach out to both of us. Typically, we respond all the time. Sometimes, we get sidetracked, and if that's the case, definitely message us again.
Email's a lot easier for me to respond.
Is it really?
Is it easier for you too, or because I'll get a bunch of DMs on Instagram, and those are kind of tough because they get kind of scrambled in there, and then Facebook, kind of like with you, like random people, I guess, trying to add me as a friend that I don't know, and that also kind of throws me off too. Because I don't know, sometimes I'll just get like random spam, and then I'm like, oh man, I don't want to like have to try to figure this out. I'd rather just contact. Well,
first of all, like no one really messages me on Instagram. It's typically email or Facebook. I don't really have a preference. My thing is, don't add me as a friend unless we actually have like a real conversation or we met in person. In case you guys haven't, in case you guys don't know, I had a whole issue a couple of months ago where I was getting prank calls from people, and I think it had to do with the whole Facebook thing. But you guys can message me. That's not a problem on Facebook. Just don't add me as a friend. It's not me trying to be a dick. I'm just trying to eliminate these punks trying to prank call me all the time.
Yeah, and the spam stuff, because sometimes they're not even real people or like real accounts.
Dude, I get recorded spam calls now from China or something. It's nuts.
It's out of control.
But yeah, really cool interview. If you guys want to know more about it, like I said, I'm not an expert, but if you guys want to know more, message me, or maybe we can. Again, this interview was a little different. If you guys want to maybe know a little more about it, maybe if you get enough people who want to learn more, we can invite Alex back, and he can talk more about it.
Sounds
But
good to me.
but thanks, man. Have fun in Vegas. Yeah, that's not my thing, man. Have fun. The middle
I'm
of
worried
summer.
about not getting enough sleep because I like sleep and I need sleep, and I know this is not going to happen.
What time
Especially
you
this
normally
next
go to
week.
bed?
I usually go to bed by like 10:30ish, 10:30ish, maybe 11. Yeah, I need some rest.
And then
If
what
I don't
time do you
get
wake?
rest,
What time do you wake up?
about like 7.
Wow,
Yeah.
dude, I'm usually in bed between anywhere between 10 to midnight, and I wake up at 5 o'clock every morning.
What?
Yeah.
This guy. That's why I think it's funny seeing the Instagram posts or people putting like hustle 24/7. I'm like, that's unrealistic. I have to sleep.
But you know what that means?
What?
That means you can't have the word hustler in your name because you're not doing it 24/7.
That's true. That's
You
very
need you
true.
need to come up with a new name. Sleepy Hacks.
Taking a dump, better be hustling.
Sleepy Hacks. I like that.
Sleeping, hustling.
Cool, man. Well, hey, have fun in Vegas, and tune in next week. We'll definitely have another episode.
All right, see you.